Hello everyone and welcome to Venus Gaming. I am in the middle of a 4-player game. I accidentally recorded without my audio earlier, but I'm going to catch you up because all you've missed is the first turn here. We are in first seat, which is obviously the worst seat. We are playing 4 players, which makes the first seat even a little bit harder. We have picked up Airdrop and Carrier Pigeon in our first turn. Green player has picked up like Theodolite and Watch on their first turn and done a little bit of advancing on the track just like we have. York is probably in a winning position, having explored into this location and then killed the ants that were there, and also been able to advance the most on the track, picking up the Compass Lady. And Longby has also explored, but they picked up a pretty standard can't defeat this monster situation and picked up an assistant as well for themselves. They also have some cards. I think both of them bought a card each. I'm drawing a little bit of a blank on what they are, but we will be able to catch up on what they bought pretty shortly. I think one of them bought Hot Air Balloon. I want to say that was Longby. And then the other one bought something else. On our first turn, we prioritized grabbing the Arrowhead, and then we prioritized grabbing Carrier Pigeon. Longby really went for double Explore on the compasses to make sure they could explore on the first turn, and that made us feel a little bit safe to slow roll into this position. York here is spending 2 compasses on the Inscribed Blade, which is a huge play for them. I think York is miles ahead of us right now, having purchased that with discount, having the extra compasses, moving up the track. They picked up an extra fear for this location, but not an extra fear from the monster. And so they've done just a ton of advancing already on this track, are almost very, very likely to get this bonus here. I think we want to jam up their potential resources, but the problem is that we're not interested in picking up tablets because we're going to have 4 tablets. We picked up 2 tablets already on the first turn. So I think our 2 fear here, we're really interested in picking up this gem. And we can't even explore. This is not a good position for us to be in. We used one of our compasses on the first turn to head out here because we got a gem with we got this with our fear on the first turn. And we had 1 fear. So I was actually complaining that in first seat, I would really rather draw 2 fear on the first turn. And we're a little bit hosed by the second draw. Drawing a fear and a coin out of the potential of a fear, double coin, double compass is probably the worst draw we could get on our deck reshuffle. So we're in a little bit of trouble. That is just the way that it is. I think we're going to have a slow, bad turn. There's an argument to be made for funding into an extra fear card here, rather than exploring out here. We're going to be a little over gemmed, but we can't. 2 gems is actually not bad. We use 1 gem to go here, 1 gem to go here. Kind of does the trick. In fact, if we're able to pick up the jeweler here, we have a coin. So if we do gem, coin, compass, or something like that, we can slow roll it. If someone else wants to take this, I'm not terribly mad about it. I think. Yeah, because we can sort of slow roll a little bit for next turn. It's not like we're not going to be winning any races here. For sure, York, 3rd seed is just so powerful in the 4-player game, is going to have the axis here. Looks like Long is going to make the shot call for coming back at this guy, which is another thing that I could have actually argued for here. I think while we have the 2 fear, we're going to get this gem. We want to use these 2 fear cards. Let's get out there. There's a really good chance that our opponents are interested also in taking the jeweler. So there we go. Now, are we the only people? Yeah, we're the only people who can contest Prospector. So suddenly we just became Prospector players this game. It's still an interesting argument to be made for we should be funding into a fear, although fear is a little bit worse for us as a Prospector player. We're going to be putting cards into our deck, and drawing fear along the way is not ideal. If Longby doesn't advance here, we can slow roll. We don't need to advance right away, so we can decide what we want to do. Longby does advance. Do they have a flex? They have no flex. Oh, they bought rope on the first turn. Yeah, rope's a pickup we would have liked to have, honestly. And these 3 aren't really going to do too much for them, so yeah, we can slow roll. They're not advancing here. There's no way. So we should do what we want to do with this funding card. So This is the most interesting, certainly. It gives us 4 resources, but we, 1 for this, 3 for the ruby, but it costs us this versus 2 resources. I think we're going to just stuff our deck full of crap. I think this is better. I think we're going to do more advancing. We'll at least keep some pressure on our opponent's situation. We're going to have so many tablets. We're tableted for days, so we're going to be searching for arrowheads like crazy, which means that all compasses go towards explorations, go towards idols that make us arrowheads. Which is fine. Rooms the archaeologist. Quick play. Ookling, by the way, has done no explorers. Is just basically playing the very straightforward worker placement game. I think it's very interesting. York here, some additional exploration, even after buying Inscribed Blade this turn, which I think makes fine sense. They are a little over-tableted, but they can just make a arrowhead. They'll have to make the tough choice about whether they want to defeat this monster or whether they want to move up here. I think moving up here probably is the wiser choice. Although they get to go first next turn, so maybe they think they can get both by defeating this and also moving up here next turn. No matter what, their idol is almost certainly turning into an arrowhead, it looks like. We've got a hot air balloon coming in here for Long By, who's going to explore another location and have too many monsters to deal with. I do think that this original play here is kind of a wild choice. And Long By heading all the way up top, which is primarily helping York, who gets to go first next turn. This is not great, Bob. This is not great at all. Okay, we are going to advance here. We're not going to toy around anymore. Pow. Give us the Prospector. We're playing a Prospector game. I think we're going to use the Prospector to pick up bows and arrows. Even though the bows and arrows is kind of weak for us, it's a really good coin-to-point ratio. You might know that bows and arrows is my favorite card in the game. That doesn't mean that I think it's the most powerful. Here we go with York advancing up to the track there. It's going to make a lot of sense. They're going to eat a fear here, which is good. We like to see them get a little bit hurt. I have an awful lot of tablets. I guess it's the tablet person, but even still, it feels like they're a little... I think it's so many tablets. They didn't do this on the first term, I don't think. Maybe they did this. What was I saying? Oh, bows and arrows. Bows and arrows is great coins to points. At points of the game, it is worth 3 compasses. When I'm not going to use it for 3 compasses, I'm just going to use it as a travel icon. I think people forget that these cards are worth travel icons. Grappling Hook, which is like the worst card in the game, is actually not the worst card in the game. Something like Army Knife is the worst card in the game. There's more coins, fewer points, that also awkwardly travels. Now, this is better on other maps. Like on the Snake map, Army Knife is more fun because you can use it to travel to one of the top sites. And there are other maps that I think in the expansions are good to play with. Long By, you're killing the freaking flow of our game here. Step it up. You were quick in the first game, and I was like, this is a great place to explore. Look at them with all their idols. Long By absolutely has the opportunity to expand up here, and then even more if they want to. They should. I think they could take the upgrader and then just double jam tablets and upgrade one of them into an arrowhead to advance up there. I think that would be perfectly reasonable on their side. Not bad to grab this guy and then just use both of the travelers to collect lots of compasses and not worry about coins for the rest of the game. Really needs no infrastructure or structure for those coins. And we see that advance. Let's see if they go with the travel or the upgrader. I think I would choose the travel, personally. The upgrader just requires such like a tense work on your part constantly to keep up with. We are going to start off by buying bows and arrows. See if we flip something sexy. I want to buy chronometer. If I buy chronometer, then I have to use airdrop for something else. I can use airdrop for journal. That's kind of fun. Now I really want to airdrop for the chronometer and get those 3 compasses. So I'm gonna buy bows and arrows, which I'm happy to have in the deck. If something even spicier than chronometer flips up, we can airdrop it. If not, stuck with chronometer. There's a chance, I guess, that our opponents buy chronometer. I think other people value chronometer not as highly as I do, so I'm probably being a little quaint with it. Because our opponents are at 2 coins. York and Longby very realistically could have another coin in hand, it looks like, and do something annoying. Ookling here is in Ancient Wine distance, which gives them discounts or resources. It's not the most thrilling. I think they're a lot more likely to pass the turn and do maybe a big explore next turn. They do have a watch in hand, so they're going to pass a ton of coins. I would have loved to pick up Parrot, maybe even over bows and arrows, because we just have enough fear in our deck that I feel like we're going to fire it off. That being said, our next draw might be absolutely no fear. Just kind of depends on how our deck is shuffled. One thing that's very awkward is we actually kind of want to draw a fear next turn. If we don't draw a fear next turn, the turn after that we're going to draw piles of fear in our hand thanks to choosing this option. So that's a choice we maybe should have considered a little bit more thoroughly. Longby here defeating one of their monsters, dealing with one of their fears, which seems good. Time for us to pick up the chronometer, I guess. There's a trowel coming out, which I think is probably a snap by for Ookling. They've got a little bit of extra compasses flying around. They are at this point on the track, which I think they're not advancing on, so they can immediately use that trowel to their advantage to advance up the track here. It's more awkward if you're in like Longby's situation. Trowel's not quite as good. York here also would be thrilled to pick up the trowel because we're hitting the part of the track where just like rubies do everything all the way along. So that's kind of true basically from the mid game forward. Sea turtle. Not a thrilling flip. We're happy to have our chronometer, I guess. We have lots of resources, but we're well behind in terms of like just game pacing, parity. We have no monsters killed. We're definitely in really bad shape. Probably the worst shape of any player here. I think that's not surprising given how rough first position is. But getting the Prospector here does give us a little bit of flexibility. This triple fear thing is also pretty bad. I don't know if this actually was the right call, but yeah, I don't really love the other options. They all seem like they're a little bit low value. So using this maximizes value just means that we're going to have a really awkward and weird third turn. And given that Longby here defeated both of these monsters that both required boots and the answer gone with boots, boots are not going to be helpful for defeating monsters unless they're the discard monsters. So we are praying not next round, in the 4th round, that we do an explore and bump into a monster with a discard ability. Which is not a great place to be at because we're really at the whim of the deck to make that happen. York is just killing us with 2 monster kills, top of the track, most bonuses. You know, very solid B to A tier assistance. I think York is absolutely killing us here. So I think the order right now goes York, Longby, Ookling, myself in terms of our positioning. We do, however, at least get to pass this turn, which is like an absurd amount of resources, which hopefully will mean that we'll have a pretty sexy turn next turn. But the fact that Longby killed that top location is just even better for York, who gets like a free explore up top, assuming that they have the cards. Not upset to see this fear here. It means that we're only going to draw 2 fear in our next hand rather than the 3 fear, so I think that that's a little bit good for us. We should consider buying the Parrot this turn because we get another card draw next turn. We can use that to kill one of our fears, but we should really be looking at the Flask first, to the point that I actually think I might make that my first play. I really need arrowheads, which we're going to do by exploring. I kind of want to explore this location because we get the upgrade. York, I guess, also wants to do that, but they kind of need the tablets. Tablets are actually pretty functionally good for them here. God, York is in such a good position. I can't get over how good it is for them. And York did just spend 2 boots. Oh, they had sturdy boots. York's killing us. Yeah, that's really a shame. I think I need to buy this flask early. Making it my 6th card. Finding a way to draw a card next turn and then drawing into this whole set is nice. I guess I might be a little bit over-feared drawing into extra cards. That is a concern. Okay, let's explore first. I think we need as many arrowheads as possible this turn. Well, speaking of drawing cards, now we absolutely want to be buying our flask because we're going to be drawing into even more stuff. Hilariously, bows and arrows here can be a single compass or it can be used to kill the frog. We've got the resources to move up here. Yeah, we just need more and more arrowheads. I think we're probably just going to grab this arrowhead. Do I prioritize the arrowhead or the flask? Everybody's got no arrowheads. And York does need arrowheads. But has options, can probably explore. My inclination is that York's going to explore. Longby, having just picked up compasses, also very likely to explore. Ookling's kind of a wild card here. And I think Ookling also wants to explore. They've got the compasses. I think they need the flexibility of the extra icon. And they make arrowheads. So I don't think that's quite likely that other people are going to be taking this spot right here. I don't think it means 0, but like close to 0. Wow, Longby is just exploring the top of the track like crazy. They have so many compasses to use, I guess. That's pretty wild. And another one that uses spear goes away. I think it's the last one that requires a boot. That's really a shame. This would have been a pretty great monster for us next turn. Okay. I think we're going to acknowledge that we're drawing flask next turn. Lantern flip is interesting. We're not unhappy with a lantern or a parrot. Although we're coins short on the lantern. I don't think we have another way that we're getting a coin. So I wonder if I might want to rush building the parrot because I know that I'm going to be flasking next turn. I know that I'm going to have a pile of fear cards in my hand, and using that parrot to make a gem out of that fear is a really good use of that card. I don't know that other people will really value taking parrot. Parrot's also, by the way, 2 coins, 2 points, which, you know, you've watched me enough to know that I love that ratio. This is going to be a top level explorer. We're going to have 3 top explorers. That is bananas. That is bananas. What a weird exploration game. We're going to be very far behind in monster kills this game. Very far behind in monster kills. This looks bad. This looks really bad. Longby is absolutely cashed out on idols, and it is only turn 3. That is fascinating. I wonder if our lowest rated player here is going to run out of steam. Oh, fascinating. We have this guy who flipped. I must have missed the moment that happened, or maybe it just happened right now. So we don't need to use our fear to go here. And in fact, we actively want to be exploring other places. In fact, we want to kill this guy and then use the boat to go other places. Amazing. Because we don't want to use this fear. We're going to feed it to this guy. No one's going to take him because there's none of these that are there. Everyone's already got 2 assistants. So we've got that on lock. Fascinating. So we take the parrot? That is truly interesting. Flipping revolver sucks because that's just going to clog up the map. This is a card that we wish just was shuffled to the bottom of the deck. Gotta hit Revolver. I think this card is just like a little bit poorly tuned. Make it 2 points. Make it 2 points, guys. Come on. York gonna get double bonuses here, just continuing the absolute slaughter. I'm sure is gonna kill this monster. Very, very far ahead of us. Wow, quick pass from Longby. Yeah, I guess they don't have the appropriate resources. They've just used everything to slay monsters. Yeah, I think Longby is probably a bit too aggressive here and a little bit of trouble. Am I gonna explore again? Is there a reason for me to slow roll bows and arrows here and like use something like this to explore? What I had 1, 2. Like if I go here. Yeah, no, I want to go here because I want this guy. Let's just do this. I think that Ookling has a guy. That's okay for us. Let's just kind of dilly-dally. This is a dilly-dally choice, so we can see what Ookling does. I think they're exploring. So my point is that if I explore, bows and arrows is suddenly 2 compi. I would need these 2. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. So, okay, if I do this, and I advance here, that's one of our compasses. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's one of our compasses. Because we do want to put some pressure on the track. And advancing here again would be a dream. This is entirely possible, right? We do also want to kill this guy. York making a really interesting choice to press the track rather than move the second one here. I think that in that position where I'm as in commanding a lead as they are, I would have grabbed this rather than push all this. But they get a lot of bonuses. They get this bonus and that bonus along the way, so I don't know. I think that they maybe could have greeted taking these and all these. I appreciate that it's probably a little bit more efficient to go this way, but I think that grabbing these 2 would have been better for them. Okay, we, I think, need to kill this guy. With this. And now we have a choice. We can, what is that? Trigger scale, sure. We can just grab this. I kind of want Donkey. Never mind. York somehow has the compasses for it. That's friggin' filthy. That's friggin' filthy. Okay. Really what we want here, I mean, so I could go here, move up here, draw a card. That's okay. We take this away from other people. But really, I kind of want to explore, get 2 compasses from bows and arrows. And then ideally get a way to move up here, untap my guy with 3 coins by lantern. It's so much spicier. Let's be a little bit greedy. I think that York is ahead. We should play aggressive. I don't think that we're going to expect them to, like, stumble. That's a pretty good flip for us. I don't know how I feel about the boat. But we can advance up here. Yeah, that's pretty good for us. If we draw the coin boat, I'm looking at this. If we draw the coin boat, like that would be an absolute dream. But I don't know what the odds of doing that are. They're not amazing. Wow, 3rd turn, all the way up nearly to the top. That is wild. Okay, let's see what card we draw. Our odds of drawing a fear are quite high, but if we draw something better, this is really good. All right, that's a shame, because that fear is useless now. And fear was the most likely card we were going to draw. But if we had drawn the boat funding, we would have been able to defeat this guy. All sorts of good stuff would have happened. So now we're definitely advancing here. Let's just take our 2 compasses. We're definitely advancing. The reason we're taking our 2 compasses first is so that we can interact with the board in case anything gets like purchased or whatever. But I don't think that's really relevant. So we're going to advance here. And we can get the max value and buy a lantern because it's the most coins. Or we can get this, not get the 2 tablets and defeat this monster, which is pretty awkward. But it prevents us from getting a fear. So, okay, let's talk this through. We're either getting, either way, we're getting 3 coins next turn, right, as our production with this guy. So if we untap him now, we get, well, it's really about getting the lantern. I have incoming fear, 1 incoming fear, which we're using with the parrot, but there's a good chance we're having another incoming fear, so I actually kind of want this guy to be untapped. If I don't kill this guy, I'm gonna have a lot of fear. Man, this is awkward. More resources or kill the monster. Monster is 5 points. This is a really tough choice. Functionally cost me 4 resources to kill that monster. 4 resources is what you expect to kill a monster. It's going to make my fears next turn probably bad, so it'll cost me 5-ish resources for the 5-ish points, rather than buying lantern and getting 2. Oof. I'm not racing for the top. Definitely blue is going to get to the top first. If I leave it, there's a good chance I can come back and kill this monster next turn. Alright, I have talked myself into I should buy the lantern. I don't know that this is the right call. Yeah, I don't know that this is the right call at all, but it is the call we're making. Yeah, we really wanted a better card draw. Flipping gold fan. Doesn't make any sense to untap and buy gold pan. We're not doing a lot of exploring this game because all the exploring is going away. So using our compasses aggressively is maybe wise. Let's do it. All right. Yeah, less stuff going on if I kill this guy, but I don't know, maybe I should have killed that guy. I still am really unsure about that choice. So yeah, last turn, by the way, when I drew the card, if I had drawn that 2 fears were the bad ones. If I had drawn this funding, it would have been sick. If I had drawn the chronometer, it would have been sick. So it was like kind of a coin flip about whether that extra card draw was like pretty game changing or not. The extra card draw I got for moving up to this position. So I really like this choice, and we just missed our coin flip, which is okay. I guess when I flask, I don't know that I'm going to draw a fear. It could be really awkward if I have multiple things pulling on cards in my hand. Don't love that. I really should use this funding to go here. I really should be killing this guy. I'm going to make the extra arrowhead here. I really should be destroying this guy. Could use a chronometer to go up now because I don't have anything yet. I think we are gonna not leave this behind again. I don't think we want someone else to destroy that. We need the points. We are behind in points. Behind in points. We're behind on the board. Compared to York is what I'm looking at here. I think that Longby, I mean, obviously is a little bit ahead in points right now, has some interesting resources. I think it's just such a clunky game. Has made some really weird choices. I think they're going to kind of taper off. Ookling has had just a really basic game. I think they're not doing anything terribly exciting. They're in the same position as us, same monsters killed as us. I think probably a slightly worse deck in terms of victory points, although they don't have the pile of fear that we have. I think we are at 4 fear right now or something stupid like that. I think we're in second right now. We were in last a moment ago. I think we're in second. Sundial, sure. Ritual Dagger, not a bad get for us this turn. Clean up our deck a little bit, get those compasses or arrowheads that are useful. We're really not rushing the track in any way. I mean, I guess if we can get up here, that's nice, but there's not a huge rush. So I think we're going to flask here and see what we draw and figure out our plan from there. It's nothing we're realistically racing on at this stage. And we're going to set up for a big turn 5, the chronometer pass. I think we're hoping to explore Guardian's Ocarina for Longby. Sure, bouncing off the top there and see if they end up using it again. They have a bunch of crap in their hand that could be really good. If I had advanced this guy last turn, like if he'd been upgraded rather than this guy, I think I would be upset because Ocarina is a really good way of using Dead Fear cards. It's kind of its primary power is turning your Dead Fear cards into amazing stuff. Not quite sure what we're waiting for here along by. Look at this one unused idol. No, is this a disconnect? That would be very, very unfortunate. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I was going to draw another fear when I knew I was drawing a lantern and gold pan. That is a little stupid of me. Airplane, 4 coins for 3 victory points is pretty good, but we don't need to rush it. I don't think anyone else is going to get 4 coins. We're going to have obviously gobs of coins this turn between gold pan and prospector. In fact, we actually have like no way to we might actually just use our gold coins to destroy this. I guess gold pan is kind of like a way of doing that. I guess in theory we don't have to use, like we could discard fear to this guy and then use the parrot to explore here if we want a lot of coins and then actually just like not get the gem because we don't have the extra fear to discard. Next turn is going to be really awkward because we're going to have a ton of fear to discard. It's a good chance that I'm upgrading this guy this turn, although maybe it's a mistake. Maybe I should just leave him for next turn because I know that I'll have extra fear. I don't know. It seems like slow rolling him intentionally does not seem particularly helpful. I'd like to move here and here. Yeah, actually, if I can draw another card, my odds of drawing a fear aren't horrible, so I actually think I want to try to make this happen. So I need to find a way. So this parrot gives me 1 ruby, and the lantern can too, but I don't really want to discard another card. So if I go here and here, and I've got the compasses were good. So if I go here and here, I need another ruby. So I need this person to go out and get a ruby. Sort of an interesting choice here because I could just could travel. I need to destroy this guy. I think I'm gonna kill this guy. If I get the car, if I spend 2 coins and kill this guy, I get the car and then use 2 coins from the gold pan, I can go up here. It's like not efficient, but it's not horrid. Because it's either that or use like the gold pan to go here. I really do want to kill this guy anyway. So using the car this turn is not bad. I think I want to use the... Okay, we're going to do this. I think we're not in a huge hurry. We'll see if I'm wrong about that. Like Ookling doesn't really feel like they're. I guess they actually can press us, but I feel like they're gonna catch this behind book up a little bit more. Feels more their vibe anyway. Let's find out. I guess York might be the one who's actually pressing us. It's really plausible. Yeah, maybe we're a smidge too slow. All right, let's dump this. I like Ookling moving up on the track there, so because if they move up on the track here, it decreases the chance that they're moving up here. Although when they advance there, that's a ruby generating guy. Let's see what they have for coins. They've used 2 of their coins already. They're a little bit of a coin choke situation. Is that idle? Oh, so they're advancing here. Ugh. Miserable. So now they're going to grab that. Ugh. That's horrible. York OP. So I think we're going to use our coins in advance here. Yeah. Don't really see a different line I like that much more. I mean, we can still draw a card when we go up here, but blue just taking all of the bonuses is just it's probably doom for us. It's probably doom. Yeah, so in third seat they took advantage of. I mean, obviously, like this is a monster good explore on the first turn because it allows you to do a lot of stuff. They ended up having an upgrade here, and they happened to take an extra tablet. Like things worked out really, really nicely, and they could kill the monster. So their first turn was just so explosive, and already third seat is better in the game, just in terms of like tempo, flow, grabbing things, getting a free third sight. All that stuff really adds up. I think that the way I mean, they haven't not bought anything either, but the only way I'm really competing with them is by having more points in my deck, because they're going to be crushing us in every other metric. So I think we're cooked, but I don't think that we're like necessarily defeated. So I'm wondering, since I can't go up here, if I like actually should be going up this way, just use the lantern for an arrowhead to go up here, rather than like trying to figure out weird shenanigans right now. Although I do want to go here anyway, so maybe I just go here. The other options that I could explore, but like I think I want to explore next turn so I can get a monster. And I'm first next turn. I'm first next turn. Do I want to choke the economy? Maybe I want to choke the economy. How do I do this? I think I have to see what card I draw. And let's draw a card. Because if I explore, right, one of these sites this turn and kill a monster, and then let's say that like next turn I explore again and Ookling explores, might be that York can't explore next turn, and that might be very appropriate. That might be the only way that I can pressure him out of the position. Now, of course, him having 5 compasses is making it very difficult to do this when Ookling has no compasses. But we can dream. Maybe Ookling's going to go up here, pick up 3 more compasses, pass the turn. Yeah, it's not unreasonable. They've got this lady here. Trader Scale's working out really nicely for them. I actually kind of undervalue this card, but when you have Jeweler, I think it's a little bit better. It's pretty nice. Stone Key for York. Come on, Longby killing me. That's why they're rating so low. Come on, Longby threatening to purchase our airplane is not ideal. Cool. Dag. Sure. I like the idea of buying dog for the last turn, but I need to know what's happening first. Ear card. Great. Now we're glad we rushed to draw a card so that we can do all this shenanigans. That seems fine. I'm trying to figure out if we are indeed exploring this turn. I think the only way we're exploring this turn is with the chronometer. I guess I could advance this here rather than advancing this here. Which again isn't horrid. I know there's another fear that I'm drawing next turn. Does that make any sense? Like if I advance here, 2, 3, explore. Yeah, maybe that does make sense. Because I'm not going to get to the top of the track. But like rubber banding this guy slowly behind and advancing this is like not amazing. Going here, compass, explore. Got 3 compasses. I think I need to choke York. I feel like this is the only way, like making them not get this bonus next turn. I need them to have a really horrible 5th turn. And I think choking them out of a possible exploration site. Now, if Ookling just spends all their compasses right now and they can't explore next turn, I mean, whatever, I'm screwed anyway. Like them keeping 6 compasses, not using those right now, and using them to do an explore at the top next turn is the dream. I'll explore the 2 bottom ones, they can explore the top one, and York can have nothing. That is the way we slow York down, is not being able to use this bonus on the last turn. What am I doing here? I'm exploring. Do I want a compass or a point? I want a compass. That's a pretty sexy draw. Ooh, that's not an ideal monster. I think I gotta kill that guy though, right? Okay. Weird math time. If I play carrier pigeon and then I spend coin, tablet, arrowhead, I go up here, I untap this, I get the arrowhead back. I, however, am short a coin, which I can get from the gold pan or the chronometer, and then I could discard either the gold pan or the chronometer. A part of this is that I need to kill this monster. So I could just kill this monster right now, discard one of these. I need to pass with the chronometer this turn. Oh my god, this is horrible. I can't fix this, can I? I think I need to do a little bit too much. Because if I try to advance here... Can I use this? Can I use this to advance? If I have 2 arrowheads and I go here, I advance, I get an arrowhead back. Discard coin arrowhead. Maybe that's the answer. Keep the coin, discard the gold pan. It's so weird. Functionally don't have I'm putting my hand over the chronometer. I functionally don't have chronometer. I need chronometer for next turn. Gold pan could be discarded. Carrier pigeon could be discarded. If I discard carrier pigeon, I can't advance this way anyway. If I discard gold pan, I don't have the coins anyway. Yeah. So I need to go to the right here. Or I could just do this. Like, I could do this, take coin compass. This here, coin compass. This is untaps for the resource. Discard the gold pan. It's a little bit more efficient in terms of like my gold management. Like I'll be left over with a tablet rather than being left over with coins. Or I left over with a compass. I mean, not a tablet. Yeah, that seems better. Right? This. Yeah, let's do it. We're committing. Pass, Ookling. Need you to have those 6 compasses. Perfect. Nope. Pass. All right. All right. I think we're going to let our friend Ookling, it's very good for them for me to leave them the upper spot because they need the idols. But I think we're just so far behind York that we need to do what's most efficient, which is using the funding rather than the exploration. Because we could use like exploration and coins to travel up here, but I don't think that really helps us a ton. So we are going to go here with our car, blow up one of these spheres from hand. Of course, we're going to completely whiff here. I guess that's a thing I should have considered, is that there was a 1 in 3 or 4 chance or whatever it is, how many cards there are, is like 11. I should have considered that I had a chance of completely whiffing the crash site. And so therefore, oh no, I couldn't play exploration and explore with exploration. That's funny. So I guess there wasn't really a way, realistically, we're going to mess with that flow of events in this case, which is fine. We need rubies. We know of the missing ones of these. There's the double tablet, double arrowhead, and then there's also a ruby tablet draw card. So Guiding Skull is like a 50-50 shot to give us what we want, which is miserable. This guy is unfortunate. I don't know that we can get up here and defeat him in time to like use the exploration. We really would have rathered like this guy. That's a point. So that's just a point cost. Yeah, this explorer ended up being a little bit of a disaster. Yeah, we really need rubies. I think I'm going here. What'd you hit? Card tablet jewel. You hit the one that I would have wanted. Star charts. Star charts. Goated. We can even use our fear. That is a god flip for us. Oh my god, that was good. 2 tablets here, put just the 3 tablets, which is the magic number. Unreal. That was stupid lucky. We need compasses next, I guess, so we could advance to the top here. What was that? Sacred drum? Sure. Wow, yeah. Star charts was a huge flip for us. The right resources, a way to use that fear card that we didn't really have anything to do with. I don't know that we're going to win, but if we win, it's because we flip star charts. If we win, it's because we flip star charts. Are we going to end up with the most monsters killed? Somehow after this disaster, we're going to end with the most monsters killed. 4, 7, 10, 12. Yeah, sure are. That's hilarious. Ideally, I'd love to buy that fishing rod, but I think our coins are just going to track moving purposes, so I think it's going to matter. All right, what was I rambling about? I need compasses. So I could fast compass, but I think I can slow compass. I got some time here, so let's slow compass. Oh yeah, we still need to explore, which is either our 2 coins or our boat. We want to use the boat. We want to use the boat. I think ideally we want to take this site. Almost always in the last turn I would rather take this site, but actually we've got 3 tablets, or 3 tablets, so we don't need another tablet. We do need gems. We need a gem to go here, we need a gem to go here, and then probably a 3rd gem to go here, something like that. Because we're going to be out of coins. So we got a coin here, coin here. And we do have the arrowhead for this section right here. So like this. But I think we need to press the issue on this. Actually, this is really interesting. If we go here and there's an upgrade, then all of a sudden this site becomes really good for us. Because having an extra arrowhead... Nope, doesn't help us. I was wrong. Upgrade does not fix our problems. York over here collecting resources to do like a top track thing and buy stuff off the board here. Ritual daggers, like pretty good for that. It's like straight up 3 victory points, right? 2, 1, 3. And also an extra arrowhead. I feel like ritual daggers are a good pickup for them. They could also go the serpent's gold path and just start buying things, like fishing rods right there. If I was in York's position right now, I'd just buy fishing rod probably. Like you're just trying to convert victory points. Wow, Oogling with all 3 idols off board. That's amazing. I think they're just too far behind on monster defeats. It's a lot of points to make up. I think we're just too passive for most of this game, kind of just taking the stuff that was there. You gotta push a little bit along the way. Man, if I win the game, I think that it's because I figured out this like explore play last turn. That would be thrilling. And then I could post it. And you guys would be so proud of me. People would be like, oh my god, no. we don't love seeing that. That's really awkward. Is there an argument to need to go here now? Can we afford to miss out on another gem? I think it's pretty devastating if we miss out on a gem. I think we really need the gem, and I can't afford... I mean, Longbuy's not going to take the gem. They got gems for days. Longbuy's got gems for days. We can be greedy, I think. But what are we being greedy for? Extra information? What are we going to change? We have to get a gem. I guess we could get a coin and use our idol. Let's get a gem. This is sad. This might just cost us a point. Yeah, there's that ritual dagger we talked about. Crystal earring. I feel like we could draw into something decent. Wouldn't be mad at that one. I mean, it's not like the dream flip or anything like that. There are better ones, but it's not a bad one. All right, now we got to go here because we've been pressed by green. A victory point, a card, or compass. Those are all good gets. We're gonna go for greed because we have an extra tablet. So if we draw into an artifact, which we did, fun. So now we got to figure out what this looks like. Coin, gem, bam. Tablets, arrowhead, bam. That's that. We are left with 2 tablets and no coins and no gems. But we're going to get a ton of compasses and a free artifact along the way. Passive shell. Funny. So we're going to assume that we can get our hands on either an arrowhead or a gem along the way there, doing the benefits here, which I think is not a crazy assumption given that War Mask is in play and people are not likely to take it. Or Pathfinder Sandals. There's just any number of answers. So Ceremonial Rattle, we would need a coin here, but we could Ceremonial Rattle this guy, which I think we should do so that we can buy the fishing rod. Because we don't need the extra tab. We are going up this way. We're not in a rush. Yes, it's nice to buy the things we need, but like there's nothing we have to buy. So we're going to do this, and we're going to pressure the fishing rod. What was that, Ookling? Pathfinder Sandals. Sure. You gotta move this guy, right? I mean, you gotta get the goods for defeating this dude. You need coins? I imagine you have coins in hand, right? Oh, but you have this issue. Honestly, they might go get 2 coins. Oh, they have this. Yeah, actually 2 coins is really good here. Because you can use it for this. Coin goes up here. Coin goes up here. They're going to undo it. They don't like it. Maybe they realize they need coins, so they're going for Serpent's Gold instead. Oh, they're doing the card draw one? No, I don't know what they're drawing into, but that's sad for me because I think that was one of my better freebie choices. And at this point, almost all the like goodies that are expensive are gone. It's tempting to just buy Stone Jar off the board for its points and its card draw. Yeah, but like, all right, well, we're going to spend our 2 coins on Fishing Rod. Dork had his chance to grab it. Boop, boop, done. Precision Compass is a crap flip. There's a missed opportunity on our opponent's parts, and we will be very happy with the choice. Theodolite Dog. Yeah, Oakling's got some exciting cards in their deck. Hilarious resource management. Double 11s. Yeah, I mean, York probably still has it. Double 11s, 3 monster kills. Top of the track. 30, 50... 70 86 plus whatever cards they have. I mean, their score is 90 easy. Oh, you bought the Stone Jar. That's a little annoying. Can't say it's surprising, but it's a little annoying. So we move up here. Both the 2. Oh. Yep. I think we grab the Serpent Idol when we can. Does some good stuff. Not terribly happy with a monkey idol flip. Because I don't want this to be placed, you know. Not the greatest choice. Serpent's Gold also kind of a dud right now. There's a lot of duds in play right now, and I don't like that. I need Ookling to buy something, but they also have some space to move up, so I'm probably going to buy Pathfinder Sandals, so the last thing that's good. Just leave the board full of crap. It's not a great spot to be in. We're definitely advancing here and getting 3 compasses. I don't regret buying the Serpent Idol. I think that ruby was one of the things that we needed, right? We said we needed a ruby or an arrowhead. So we're there. I'm hilariously looking for things like mortar and pestles right now, right? Kill things, destroy my fear, maybe a couple extra coins to. I don't know, buy the precision compass. I want that. I want the ornate hammer to flip. That's actually what I want. Yeah, there goes the Pathfinder Sandals. That's a lot of those tablets. Pathfinder, staff. Not horrible. Not amazing. Not horrible. I want something that are more points. I want the ornate hammer, so I can blow up that precision compass and do things. I want treasure chests just for the raw 3 points. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for right now as the game's coming to a close. Yeah, I think York still has this just cooked. There's no way my deck has enough points to make up the difference. I've used too many of my coins to travel. You know, I know that my deck is not full of as many spicy things as it could have. I think we do take this Pathfinder Spandal, even though it's not my dream here. I mean, this is plus 2 points, so can this make me plus 2 points? This. I guess it kind of depends on what I draw. Sure. Let's see if you can make me plus 2 points. Nope. Oof, even Coconut Flask was better. I guess I could move up this way and have the gem left over, and then I could use the Coconut Flask. Yeah, I think it makes sense to have this, two. This is gonna go away when I do that. 2, 3, 4. I could buy this stupid thing. Hilarious. This is probably my best option. Can't think of other things with 3 compasses I really want to do, so I think I need to buy this. This isn't going to change. Although, I think I need to buy it. Oop. I want Ookling to buy the thing. I don't want to give it to them. I already given them plenty. I don't know. If Ookling hasn't managed, I guess they can just be advancing on the track. I don't even know what yeah, they can do whatever. Gain a compass. Yeah, I would just have a bunch of passes from our opponents. If they Coconut Flask, okay, I think they're not Coconut Flasking. Let's just buy this and see what happens. Ookling's got the rainbow set up. This site. The angry man, the angry Medusa man. What that is? Owl Medusa? I think the art in this game is really cool, but it's so small, it's really hard to see the details. A lot of birds. I like that guy. I just don't think there's any way we're catching York, even though he's just been chilling for the past few rounds. So, Ookling changed their play. Did they change their play? I feel like these are the same resources before. One, two, three, four. Yeah, well, congratulations, Ookling. Maybe you get some free victory points. They do. They do get free victory points. Good for them. What is this? I'm done. He has so many things left. It's really funny. If Ookling comes out to win this, then good for them. It's 11 there. Yeah, I guess maybe they actually aren't doing the torch. Might just be cooked here. It's the end. It's not a great setup, but it's enough. This is like 10 points. Yeah, like pushing 100. This is not enough here. 10, 13, 20 or something like that. Minus all my penalties. Yeah, I think York still has it. I did the best that I could, I think, by boxing them out of the monsters in the last turn. This is the one advantage in 4-player of being first player, is that you can put people on the back edge like that. Yeah, too much. We were close, though. I mean, not close. It's 8 points. 8 points is pretty far. Yeah. They cooked us nice and good. Oh, well. I'm still going to post. This is a really interesting game. Thanks for watching. See you in Vegas, maybe.